Welcome back, employees, to the series where I aim to get every achievement for every Yakuza game, and I'm going to start with 6 words.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Yakuza Kiwami is basically Yakuza 02, but with 1 less character, 4 less styles, and 1 less city to explore. But with Yakuza Kiwami, RGD included some things that make the achievements much easier to obtain. This video will be split into 5 sections: Legend Playthrough, Climax Battles, Substories, Completion List, and lastly the final achievement. So with all that out of the way, I hope you employees enjoy, and let's jump in. Playing through Kiwami on Legend difficulty was not as difficult as Zero, as I went straight to Kamaki and kindly asked him to teach me the Tiger Drop, which made the game super easy. But was far into the story, so before that, going through the bosses on Legend wasn't that bad of an experience. In Zero, I only quote-unquote died once because I let Makoto get kidnapped during Kiryu's section with her. For Kiwami, I did die 2 times in the arena for the Florist, once during the abandoned building long battle, and once to Nishiki while trying to defeat him without healing. Yeah, that didn't end up happening. The dreaded car chase section in Kiwami is one of the most hated things about the game. Many people have tried it and failed. From what I've seen and heard, it's the camera being janky, having to go through the Snake Flower Triad's hideout and fight Lao Kalong every time you die, because they decided to not put any checkpoints after defeating Lao Kalong, and just the sheer length of the section compared to Zero, plus it's not just enemies with pistols but with SMGs, miniguns, etc. Basically a haha get good moment. So I did a first try using the mouse. Yes, I know, only real Yakuzas use a gamepad, but shut up, I only used the mouse for a couple of other things. And of course, Majima got absolutely destroyed anytime he appeared. With Nishiki's defeat from one punch, Tiger Drop, Legend difficulty was defeated. Now, onto the Climax Battles. Here we go again with the Climax Battles. I did these before starting a Legend playthrough because you actually get special items after beating each category, which can be used in Premium Adventure. Proving Grounds, Melee Battles, and Ultimate Battles return, of course, but Millionaire Battles are instead replaced with Mad Dog Battles, and as you can probably guess, those involve you beating up Majima a bunch of times, as if you haven't already done that during a regular playthrough. Let's start with Proving Grounds. The first couple of Proving Grounds weren't all that difficult. Don't get knocked down on the boat, gain enough XP for 5 levels, defeat enemies with only weapon attacks, defeat enemies with only heat actions, defeat the enemy with only counters.
Fight back! Fight back!
Then there's Proving Ground 6, where you're in rush style with Knuckles against a bunch of people with guns and a katana guy at the end. Seems simple enough. Oh, I forgot to mention, you can't get hit. and you cannot drop out of heat mode. So no heat actions even if it kills the boss. They even put healing items to make you think you can take damage. Then there's Proving Ground 7, where you're stuck in beast mode with no health, strapped with a golden gun, and only one dream: to escape the Tojo HQ. This one took a while as I was either too close to an enemy and they kicked me, or got unlucky and got shot before I even saw them. Oh. 8. Beat enemies within time limit with constantly dropping health. Then there's 9 with a weird Protect Makoto-esque requirement where you have to protect a Rhino Beetle from Men in Black, and has a specific heat action just for this climax battle. Like, you don't see this heat action anywhere else in the game. And number 10 is where you play as good old drunk Date, where after every attack, Date has to lean over and vomit. Other than Proving Ground 6 and 7 giving me a bit of trouble, the rest were a cakewalk, and for my efforts, I got the magnetic necklace. Next is the melee battles, and they are basically the same from Yakuza 0, one style and one goal: defeat all enemies before the time runs out. So technically I'm not wrong, but 5 out of the 10 battles require you to use specific styles, but with the rest you can use whatever styles you want. Just ignore what I just said. There's the mob from the finale, the prison fight from the start, some homeless dudes and some sneaky ones further away, the 3 gangs. Then there's Melee Battles 5, where you're at the Snake Flower Triad hideout at the start of Chapter 9, but with low health. The last wave of enemies were a bit of trouble, as there was a guy with a pole who could stun lock you onto the floor and give the butcher knife wielding guy a chance to deal massive damage to you. Then there's 6, where it's basically the Chapter 12 fight, except Shimano isn't there, so I let the Kazuma family deal the final blow. Get him. 7, MIA people in the Millennium Tower, and 8 is the entire multi-tenant building fight in Chapter 10 where you fight Arase, and he thought he was Dante with his 2 guns. Too bad he couldn't trickster dodge his Tiger Drop. Trust me, you'll see this guy a lot. Then there's 9 where you skip everything, heat action the big guys with chairs, then fight Majima at the bottom, and 10 is going through Tojo HQ again, fighting Kashiwagi, and then fighting Sarah to finish it off. After finishing the melee battles, I got the Calming Tale as my reward. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call. Hello? Oh, hey boss man, what you need? Yes, I'm about to talk about the Mad Dog battles. What about them? Yes, I told them Kiryu destroyed you every time you tried to surprise him during the main story. You want me to lie to our employees and say that I struggled on these battles for days? Who do you think I am, Nishida? Not my fault you can't Tiger Drop. And he hung up. So on to the Mad Dog battles. These battles were some of the hardest fights I have ever done. Majima was just way too strong for me. It took me many hours to pass just the first battle. Rush Kiryu vs Breaker Majima in Asia. Majima just kept spinning around and knocking around the chairs, dealing tons of damage. Then there was the second battle, where Majima dresses up in his officer uniform with 2 other policemen with him. If you hit the wrong officer, you lose. Halfway through Majima's HP, the officers start mimicking Majima's slugger style moveset, even with the orange heat aura, making it difficult to determine which one was Majima. This one took ages, as Majima would always stay near the 2 officers, hoping Kiryu misses one of his Beast Rush combo moves and hits one of them. He's a very strategic man. The third battle is the entirety of Majima's zombie charade, but I'm forced to use brawler style against zombie Majima's thug style, which was not a fun experience as Majima just kept respawning every time I defeated him. I wonder if he has any clones. Speaking of clones, Battle 4 makes you fight Hannya Man as a weak dragon. Looks easy though. It's just I mean it's just some guy using an original moveset, and once you get him to low health, another one spawns. Then you get that one to low health, and another one spawns. But you complete the battle after defeating the third one. Then finally, we have Battle 5, where it's each unique Majima with each unique style. Zombie with Thug, Officer with Slugger, Everyone's Idol with Breaker, and last but certainly not least, Gorami with Mad Dog. The first three were easy, but when I got to Gorami, I just couldn't stop staring at her voluptuous ass, the voluptuous chest, and her dazzling eyes. It took me forever to beat Gorami. She's just so attractive. But once I beat Gorami, the last Mad Dog battle was beaten, and I got the Dojima family amulet. There, is that what you wanted, boss? I socked you off so hard I better get a raise or a promotion. And he hung up. The stuff I do for this man. Anyway, let's just move on to the Ultimate Battles. The Ultimate Battles are basically the same from Zero, play through some of the bosses of the games, and then defeat all of them for the final challenge. The only one to give me trouble was Bee King in Battle 1, like, look at this, what was I supposed to do? What do I do? Dude, I am... On top of that, you have to fight the Dante clone 3 different times. I was getting sick of looking at the same old rooftop. Everything else was piss easy. Ever heard of the Tiger Job? And for completing the last Ultimate Battle, I was rewarded with the best accessory in the game, the War God Talisman. Time for Substories. During my Legend playthrough, I was doing any and all sub-stories that were available. They gave a good amount of XP and a small amount of money, which was good for the early stages of the game, but were less good the further I got. Really, the only sub-story I want to talk about is the one that introduces the best character in the entire Yakuza series. A man who fights for what he believes in and isn't easily swayed by anyone. Akamoto-san. And what is he doing? He's on a rooftop, attempting to game end himself because he wanted to be in a relationship with the hostess he was in love with. Yeah, what I said about him earlier, that was a total lie. Kiryu and Haruka talk the man down from game ending himself. When his hostess crush comes over, then boom, they make up.
ごめんね、水木ちゃん。借金返せなくなってさ。秋元くんは私にとって命よりも大切な人なのよ。忘れたの。水木ちゃん、俺間違ってたよ。秋元くん、分かってくれてありがとう。じゃあプレゼント買った後同伴してくれる？うん、もちろんだよ。
Kiryu and Haruka try to forget what they just saw and go their way, looking for Haruka's mother. Then I get the achievement, she's worth it. That was the last sub-story I needed to do before unlocking the dreaded Amon fight. I'm gonna say this straight away, this was worse than both of the Yakuza 0 Amon fights. I challenged myself not to use any slime guns, definitely not because I forgot they were in Kiwami, and it did not go well. No, I didn't want to get those out. You've got to be shitting me. Oh my god. It was basically Majima's Amon fight from Zero, but I had 10 tons of steroids, and it took me hours to beat. I got close many times, just for him to take me out when I had little to no health and couldn't heal in time. His Mad Dog style just does so much damage even with the best armor.
What the fuck was that damage, my guy? Oh!
It still takes a good chunk of my health. Guess it's time to show the world how the Dragon of Dojima fights.
Come on, fucker! No! Snap into a Slim Jim. No! Shut the fuck up! No! I've got an idea! No. No, I missed. Psych! No! No!
And I didn't forget to save this time. And for the second time, we get Amon's glasses. This fight was way harder than both fights in Zero, but having the Dojima amulet and the War God talisman definitely made it easier. Even with the overpowered accessories, it was not an easy feat, but I get the achievements for defeating Joe Amon and the subsequent achievement for completing all Substories. As usual, there were some achievements I got before committing to the completion list grind. Those include the strongest fighter, win all tournaments in the Underground Coliseum, what a player, play all minigames. How is this a minigame? Sexy run, enjoy a mahjong with a hostess, and the absolute worst one of all, of Mr. Master. Obtain EX rank on Haruka's request, which involves you either getting Haruka an item, getting a certain amount of points in a minigame, or beat certain tough challenges. For example, get a certain score for her song, Auto Medal My Life, beat her at Mesu King, gain a certain amount of chips at certain casino minigames, and so forth. The absolute worst request is beating an expert NPC at Rotation Pool, which is where you get points depending on what ball you hit into the hole, but you must at least hit the numbers in order. E.g. you hit 15, but get a foul and don't get the 15 points because you didn't hit the one ball. No matter how perfect you are, this NPC will 1. 95% of the time go first when banking unless you hit your cue ball perfectly, 2. Always get at least 2 to 3 balls in before it's even your turn, and 3. Put you in the hardest spot to hit any balls correctly. I got super freaking lucky with the NPC missing the 15 ball when it was inches away from the hole, getting a foul, allowing me to win. Thank God. I don't know why Haruka wants to see Kiri get his ass handed to him by an expert NPC at pool.
もしもおじさんが犬を飼うなら
強そうな名前がいいかもな。
But you go, girl. The last request was getting 1200 points in batting, which was super easy and a nice way to end the grind to getting the EX rank. I definitely didn't overdo it.
Hallelujah! Holy shit!
Boy, what a painful achievement. Probably the worst achievement for this game. Period. Alright, time for the completion list.
そう来なくちゃな。このままいく。
Alright, time for the completion list. It is much shorter than Yakuza 0, thanks to Majima leaving the playable character sphere and now becoming a side character for the rest of the series. I mean, I guess except Kiwami too, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Like the last 100% video, we'll go by category. Adventure, Battle, we'll be skipping Substories, Majima Everywhere, and minigames. Let's start off with Adventure. By the time I had finished Legend Mode, I had a good majority of the Adventure category completed. All that was left was to finish off the eateries I hadn't eaten at, which included Kyushu No. 1 Star, Sushigin, Akushimaru, Gendako, and Bantam, while also dining at eateries 100 times and eating 30 food items and medicine items from my inventory. I had to entertain myself 100 times, go to Ochikubu, and earn a total of 10 million yen and spend 5 million. Onto the battle category. I needed to defeat 200 enemies with each of the 4 styles, while also needing to defeat 500 enemies in total. I needed to help 30 victims who were getting ganged up on the streets. I needed to win 50 Coliseum tournaments, use 300 eat actions, learn all of Kamaki's moves, and the last goals for the battle category were to obtain a certain amount of different weapons and gear accessories, which was the worst one, as I needed to play certain minigames to acquire certain weapons, and needed a shit ton of money. The way I did this without farming the Coliseum and wasting my life away was just selling any weapons I have gotten to the Ibisu pawn, as they sold for a good amount of money. Most of the time I had enough money to buy the weapons I needed. It was an arduous process, and most of the weapons I was missing were from the Coliseum. Good thing I could just immediately sell those weapons to buy from the secret weapon shop in Beam. Ah, Majima. Such a dependable guy. Whenever you're in trouble, he's always around to help. Doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing, he'll always be available to help. It's as if Majima is everywhere. Oh, that's why it's called the Majima Everywhere system. I get it. Majima was the main way to unlock the majority of the Dragon Tree's skills, so I'd already made good progress on most of the goals for this section. The remaining goals were fighting Majima 50 times, having Majima force his way into battle 10 times, getting surprise attacked by Majima 10 times, and I needed to win against Breaker and Mad Dog Majima 10 times. Alright, time for the minigame section of the completion list. Wait, do you guys hear something? Jesus Christ, Majima, what are you doing in my room? How did you... Anyway, why are you here? Here to scold me for not working hard enough? What are these? Cheat items? Where'd you find these? You have no idea how much easier you have made this. Thank you, boss. I promise. I promise to work twice as hard next week.
世の中筋の通らんことばっかりや。そんな意地張っとったら。
Alright. I'll finish the video, then get back to work. Can you leave now?
体が持たんで。またな、キリちゃん。
That's my boss for you. Anyways, these cheat items that Majima just gave me are going to come in handy later. Let's speedrun the easy stuff, then jump into the casino minigames section. 3, 2, 1, go. I needed to get 45 Masukin cards. I needed to win all of the Pocket Circuit Cups, acquire 15 prizes from the UFO catcher, complete both Rena and Use? Both Rena's and Yui's Substories, take 10 of the best shots in the photo booth, score 10 hat tricks, score 1600 points across all baseball courses, score 10 2-panel knockouts, score 3 combination shots and 3 cram shots, and get 900 scores on all of the karaoke songs. Not as many as I thought, but now onto the casino and gambling hall minigames. Those cheat items that Majima gave me came in clutch when going for the separate goals. Let's start off with the casino hall. I needed to get 50,000 chips in blackjack. Using the blackjack amulet makes the next 5 hands an instant blackjack, which means an instant win. Every time you win, you can increase your betting amount. Betting the max amount will nearly double what you bet and makes it getting 50k. 50k on roulette, using the zero jewel, guarantees that the ball will land on either double zero or singular zero, making a save before using the jewel just in case the ball doesn't land on the green space you bet it on. 1 jewel isn't enough though, but Haruka was hiding a second jewel and gave it to me after getting her to SS rank. 20,000 on Baccarat, you get 2 different cheat items, those being the player piece and the banker's piece, basically guarantee if one or the other wins, which would only net you 39.50 out of the 20k needed. The rest was just based on luck, but I eventually got it. And 20,000 on poker. The cheat item for this game makes it so the next card enables you to make a hand with what you have, but can also be a downside as an AI could have a better hand than you. Basically, it was solely based on RNG. Alright, onto the gambling hall minigames. 10,000 chips in Kohan, betting if the combined dice will be odd or even. The cheat item for this made it so that the AAs would lean more towards one side during a couple of rounds. Still don't really understand how it worked. Like, does it increase the chance of the opposite to happen? Like, do most of participants choose odd and even wins so you get a bigger payout? Let me know down below how this item works. 110,000 in Chilo, the one where you throw dice into a pot and get different outcomes to win. This game has 4 cheat items. 1 increases the chance of opponents missing the pot, making them lose. 1 increases the chance of getting trips, which is 3 of the same number. 1 guarantees opponents getting 1, 2, 3, which instantly makes them lose, and the last one guarantees that you get an ace out, which is 1s across the board and instantly makes you win. Using the all 1s charm and betting the highest amount guarantees the 10k needed. 10,000 in Koi Koi, where you make different combination with the cards you have than the ones on the table. The cheat item for this game guarantees the cards you pick up from the deck are able to be matched with the cards on the table. Only works for 1 round though, so you better hope you have a good stash of cards to make high point combinations. And 10,000 in Ochikubu, the one that's similar to Blackjack, but get as close to 9 as possible. There are 2 cheat items for this game. It uses the same cheat item from Chilo, the one that guarantees you get a trip, which is the same number 3 times. The other cheat item guarantees that you get 10, 10, 1, which is an instant win and gets you a load of tags. Using the 10, 10, 10, 1 charm, when playing at advanced level, guarantees you make the completion goal twice over with tags to spare. That's it for the casino and gambling hall minigames. Having the cheat items made it so much easier to attain the goals needed. Saved me time and sanity. I guess that just leaves 1 minigame left. Can you guess what it is? I mean, really, guess which minigame that is notorious for making Yakuza completion hard. Have you guessed? If you guessed Mahjong, you would be right. I mean, what else would be left? Ah, Mahjong, my beloved. It was only a few months ago that I was struggling to complete your completion goals without any cheat items. But this time, I'm back and have acquired 1 cheat item for you. Side note, you'd think a minigame that has 6 completion goals would have more than 1 cheat item. The cheat item for Mahjong does... Actually, I'll just let this clip show you what it does. As the clip shows, using the cheat item gives you 13 out of the 14 tiles needed to acquire the 13 Orphans combination, which is 1 and 9 of every dot, bamboo, and numbers, all dragons, and all directions. And all you need is any of the tiles you have to acquire a double and finish off the hand. The poor soul that places the tile you need needs to pay you, let me see, 97,000 sticks.
But wait! There's more!
Since they're out of points, the game ends and you earn first place, which means third place gives you 10,000 sticks, and fourth place, the guy you just stole all those sticks from, needs to pay you an extra 35,000 sticks on top of the 97,000 taken earlier, earning you a total of 166,000 sticks. So yeah, I can safely say that getting the 100,000 sticks from the completion list was a cakewalk. It also gave me the handman requirement. Sadly, even if you Richie and the next guy puts it down, the 13 orphans overrides and any other bonuses, which sucked. Nothing changed with the other 4 goals. You need to rely on RNG to get the right tiles, and an AI doesn't win before you. Richie Patsu is the same. Call Richie and hope one of the 3 AIs put down a tile you need before your next turn. Going out 10 times, basically winning 10 times. Surprisingly, I got a full straight before getting 5 Mangan, which were the last achievement goals I needed, and I got the Perfectionist achievement. Finally, on to the last achievement. The last achievement. Here we are, the final stretch to get that blue ribbon. It's been a long and arduous journey. Not as hard as 0, but we're here at last, and this time, it wasn't a hidden achievement. All I needed to do was hold hands with Haruka while walking for a 1 kilometer in Premium Adventure. That's it. No need to wait around for some takoyaki to go cold. No need to shoot a guy with an afro during the car chase sequence. No need to steal from the Nikio Consortium. And no need to get smacked by Rina with a bottle. Just walking around with Haruka. A peaceful stroll through the city. And Majima was nice enough to not attack me the entire time. But as soon as I got the achievement, I abandoned her quicker than a dad leaving for milk. There it is. Oh my god, fucking finally. Oh, done. And there it is, employees. The Yakuza Kiwami Blue Ribbon, which took me 116 hours, but I finally did it. Now, to the tier list. As usual, when I'm done with all the games, I will swap them around as need be, but right now, just because of that godforsaken expert NPC rotation pool part of Haruka's request, it's going right behind 0. The cheat items for the gambling minigames definitely help with acquiring the amount of points you need to complete the goals, which was the only goal for every minigame except Mahjong. I can imagine in the future that it'll go down a tier at most because I've heard some things about Yakuza 3's pool AI, and that brings me to some questions I want to ask you employees. After I finish Kiwami 2, would you prefer if I went chronologically? For example, after Kiwami 2, I go to 3, then 4, then 5, etc. Or would you prefer if I chose what games to do next? Most likely, Like a Dragon, Judgment, Lodge Judgment, Infinite Wealth, then the other games? And would you watch live streams of me going for the blue ribbons? Let me know down below. Besides all that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and become a sponsor for the channel, giving you access to behind the scenes of scripts, videos, and you'll get to see the video a day earlier than non-sponsors. Thank you again. Now get back to work!